WWE is running an increased house show schedule this summer after largely phasing them out domestically in the last few years. 10 new shows have been added for July and August, branded as part of the company's 2026 Summer Tour. So pay attention if you live in any of these areas. July 11th, Summer Tour at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. July 12th, The Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. July 16th, the PPL Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania. July 25th, the Adventist Health Arena in Stockton, California. July 26th, the Dignity Health Arena in Bakersfield, California. July 30th, the Bank of Springfield Center in Springfield, Illinois. August 6th, that's a Thursday, at Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. August 13th, the SNHU Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire. August 29th, the Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. And August 30th, at the North Charleston Coliseum in Charleston, South Carolina. They're advertising a mix of talent from Raw and SmackDown for these shows. Brian Alvarez is reporting that the idea is tickets for these shows will be more affordable than your typical WWE show. Much more affordable, even. What does much more affordable look like to TKO? We'll find out because tickets are going on sale this Wednesday. So we'll get a better sense of it at that point. Now, Sami Zayn told the Huge Pop podcast, for which former WWE referee Jimmy Korderas is a co-host, that he believes wrestling on house shows is crucial for the younger talent, but there should be a fine line for the volume of those events. He said, well, even this, like anything else, there's polarizing views on all of it, right? But I can say no matter what you think or I think, it's pretty clear that the best way to get good at anything is to do it over and over again. So I think when you're starting to look at the stars of the future, you're looking at Trick Williams, you're looking at Javon Evans, Bron Breakker, Obafemi, and guys like this. A lot of these guys just simply don't have a lot of reps under their belt, and they're doing phenomenal, all things considered. So I just think that there's no disputing the idea that if they get a few more reps, especially live events, where really that's like the true performance, that's really what this business is. It's you in a ring, a live house, not worried about the constraints of television time and hitting break spots and commercials. And, it's really just the art form at kind of its most naked and truthful form. So I think it's an invaluable experience for those guys. I think it's a good thing to see some returning for sure. I'm not going to get into the business side of it as far as, is it worth it from a profitability standpoint? I don't know. I enjoy them, but I'll also say that there's two separate generations going at the same time here. You have guys like Roman or Seth or myself or Punk or Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor. All these guys that are mainstays who are on the later side of our careers and have already put in 20 years. So doing a bunch of live events is a little harder on our bodies. So I kind of see the merit in, well, these are a lot of your top stars and you want to not run them into the road while you have them. But I also see the merit in, well, these guys, the Javons and the Bron Breakkers and the Obas, they need to get there too. So I do think there's definitely this fine line of the volume of live events. Because I don't know if you want to keep a lot of the guys that are current TV stars or in their later years, if you want to keep them healthy for the next 3, 4, 5 years. The way it was before with like 160 live events might be a little much. Understanding the different town-to-town responses and just getting a feel for the audience, I think that's crucial for these guys. So I do think having some of these live events around is a great thing. But the volume, I think there's a middle ground. And he is absolutely 100% right. I never understood the all or nothing approach. Like you either send these guys and gals out there on the road for 200 plus days a year and you do a million shows, or you don't do any live events at all, right? Outside of the international tours. I don't understand that. Now, if they were money losers before, that doesn't mean that they didn't still have value to the talent. There could be value in something beyond just the economics of it. You kind of look at them as an investment. It's an investment in your talent. It's an investment in your future. So you run fewer of them to cut your losses and you prop up the other shows to make them feel more special, but there needs to be a middle ground. Sami Zayn is not the only one to advocate publicly for house shows. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. I mean, he's been vocal about them. Feeling like they're important to help wrestlers get their reps in, to create kind of like a camaraderie in the locker room. Randy Orton has talked about their importance when it comes to building chemistry with the people that you're working with, so that when you work together on TV or on a PLE, You know each other inside out already because you've already worked on the house shows. Yeah, I've used the example before of Maxine Dupree as someone who was, I like how my voice went up, just like it used to, Dupree. But like Maxine Dupree is someone who she was called up to the main roster far too soon. She wasn't ready, clearly, right? Not if their plan was to put her in the ring. If they were going to use her exclusively as a manager or a valet, that's fine. But if they were actually going to have her get in the ring and wrestle, they called her up way too quickly. It wasn't fair to her. It wasn't fair to the people that you put her in the ring with. Some people sink, some people swim when you throw them into the deep end of the pool, but more people would swim if they just had a little more time to get those reps in. You look at AEW, it's a different model, but it's not radically different, really, if you're someone who shows up to TV and you rarely get used and you're not working independent shows. You may only work once a week. That's if Tony even uses you on Dynamite or Collision. It's the same thing in WWE right now. Maybe you'll work once a week, twice a week, and that's it, if you're booked. But without house shows, you're not working. In AEW, you can work outside events so long as they approve it, but not everybody wants to, right? Or they charge too much and people don't want to, meet them at their rate. They price themselves out, but at least the option is there. In WWE right now, they could always throw you in AAA, but they're not going to do that with everybody. So you need to find that happy medium as far as the volume of shows. And for the fans, if you've never been to a house show, then you probably just don't have any concept of this. It's probably like a foreign concept to you. But if you've ever been to a house show, you know how fun they can be, right? They're generally more enjoyable than the TV shows because you don't have all the ad breaks and the dead space in between segments and these long, boring promos, because there are very few people in wrestling right now who I would call a money promo. Very few. Very, very few. On the house shows, maybe you're not expecting a title change or a major angle, but how much of that do we even get on TV these days? At least you get big matches with some big names. So I think finding a happy medium is exactly what they need to be doing. I think it's great for the fans, and I think it would be great for the talent that could use the added exposure.